What is up, my dudes, and that one girl who is one of one? That's right, one girl, you're special. This is Bikes, Beards, and Brews. Let's kick that intro. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we kick this one off, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. New videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. We're just doing this. Let's get the other stuff out of the way. Want to save 10% on a Cardinal communicator? Check my referral link down below. Want to support me in all my do-gooderness like these cool guys here? Boom! Then you should become part of the Brew Crew. Enjoy the coffee page down below. It's right next to the 1 million Amazon links that, I get a little bit of a kickback for as well. Want to know what all that money's going towards? Well, there's a link down below for that as well, so check it out. So just first, real quick, I want to address the elephant in the room, or well, the non-room that I'm in right now because I'm on my bike. Yeah, I haven't been hitting the whole Monday, Wednesday, Friday release date stuff lately. It's not that I'm getting burnt out. It's not that I'm like running out of ideas. It's not that I'm quitting or running away from you. You can't get rid of me that easily. I'm sorry. It's just basically nothing special. I'm studying for some new certifications for my field of work, which is IT. So that's taking up a lot of time, and quite honestly, at this point in time, grinds my gears to be like, you know what really pisses me off about IT? And this is Bikes, Beards, and Brews, not Bikes, Beards, and the computer is broken, or whatever else you want to call it. So yeah, I will be getting back to that 3-a-week schedule. Hopefully this week will be the first of that, so I'm gonna work on that for sure. I don't know, tune in Friday to see if I make it or not. Honestly, this video was recorded and in the can this past weekend, but for whatever reason I didn't transfer the videos off of my bar cam before I erased the SD card on my bar cam. So it would have been a single perspective sort of view, and I do like having this back and forth camera thing. Quite honestly, behind the scenes, this is how I hide my edits. So if there's dead space, if there's something I want to get rid of, instead of having me jump down the road a half a mile or something as I reset or I cut something out, I can just go back and forth, and it makes it a little bit easier to hide that sort of stuff. Same with things like crosswalks. Normally you wouldn't see something like this. I would just cut it and continue on. So there you go. The illusion is shattered. If you watch my videos, you can definitely see jumps and stuff here and there if you're really paying attention, or not really paying attention, because let's be honest, my videos are mediocre at best, and that's about where my editing is and all my special effects as well. So nonetheless, couldn't record that video, or I couldn't release that video, so I just scrapped it for the time being, and I went with my Harley sales one that had been kind of brewing for a little while, and I just needed to execute it. So that one seemed to be enjoyed. So everything's cool, right? Today, I'm just going for a ride. It's a little chilly out. I hate to do the weather forecasting all the time, and I have been trying to drop it on my videos. But seriously, like, if the weather was any more bipolar in New England, my teenage self would be trying to date it. It's just that sort of crazy. I mean, well, last week was like 70s and 80 and stuff, and today I'm riding in 50. So that's a thing. That's what we're doing. Whatever, as long as it's no snow, no salt, no ice, I'm good. All right, so let's get into what I actually wanted to talk about, and that is, are there bikes that are too exclusive? And to give you an idea, like, Harley Davidson, they are the kings of like serial numbered bikes. Like, hey, buy these CVOs, you get a number plate, we're only making 2,500 of these for the year. They did it with like the El Diablo, like they do it with their Icon series. They've done it with their anniversary editions, like the 120th right now. They're making what, 2,500 of each, and they're all serialed, stuff like that. I've made fun of this in the past because when you look at the grand scheme of things and you look at how many bikes actually get sold each year and stuff like that, I mean, 2,500 is a lot. But at the same time, you know those bikes are getting written and they're getting seen and all that. I actually had a little bit of vindication, validation, pick a couple other V words that are synonymous and run with them earlier this year, and actually still current right now as we speak, because I kind of made fun of the El Diablo, and I said it was just a paint job and kind of a waste and didn't quite make sense, stuff like that. I had people push back on me very hard, and first and foremost, you get the dumb people who are like, oh, you don't like it because you can't afford it. Seriously, my bike is worth more than an El Diablo. Just fact. Even like if you're not even looking at the MSRP on it, just everything I've dumped into the bike, worth more than an El Diablo. So calm down. And then you had other people that are like, oh, you're just jealous. You know, these are going to sell off the floor. They're going to be completely gone. No one's going to be able to get their hands on them. And all this other stuff, like basically telling me that I'm an idiot for saying that these were just kind of like a cash grab on Harley's part. Well, you can still find these sitting on sales floors with 0 miles on them. So I guess if I can't afford it and that's why I'm mad, there must be a whole lot of other people out there that are also very mad and can't afford it because, well, they're still sitting on sales floors and it's been quite a while. Now, I'm not saying every single dealership has one, but I've definitely run into some, and I think I just recently got an email from a local dealership saying that they had one in stock and you better hurry and get it because once it's gone, it's gone. Yeah, good argument for a bike that's been sitting there for 6 months or so there, guy. Nonetheless, I digress on all that, but here's the thing. There's other companies that also do limited number bikes. It's not just exclusive to Harley. Like, I know that like Triumph does it, the Rocket 3 especially, they release like a black edition, I think every year, that comes in a very limited number and it's all serialed and stuff like that. But the one that I'm kind of thinking of right now is Indian. And I know some of you, if you've paid attention to my channel long enough, you know that I've done stuff where I've kind of like trolled Indian or genuinely checked them out. Quite honestly, you know, all jokes aside, I feel like Indian has a lot of good bikes, a lot of good ideas, and a lot of good concepts. Just when I put Indian and Harley down on paper and weigh the pros against the cons, I still come out on top with Harley, and that's just where I land. I think the Challenger is a good bike. Sometimes I look at it and I think it's kind of dorky looking. Other times I'm like, nah, that's a good looking bike. Back and forth. I mean, I took my buddy's Chieftain for a ride. It was fine. I'm not a Batwing fairing guy, so there wasn't going to be a time where I'd be like, oh my god, this bike has blown me away and now I need to buy it. But it was fine. It was a good bike. Nonetheless, they have a lot of limited bikes and they kind of take this stuff to the extreme. So you have like the Jack Daniels bikes. Those come out every year. I think the last one of that whole series came out this year. And I think those are actually limited to like maybe 100, give or take. I mean, it is some crazy low number like that, like 100 worldwide. So if you think about that, let's say they release like one per state in America. That means there is one. That's it, just one. And then 50 more for the rest of the world. And that's if they run it that way. I mean, they may release them all US side. And this isn't just the only thing they do. So they have like the Challenger Elite and the Chieftain Elite that come out every year. those stay around 250 per year. So if you're thinking about that, let's say each state gets 2. You're talking about, 100 right there, and then that leaves 150 for the rest of the world. And Indian does get sold around the world like Harley. They're not in all the same markets as Harley, but they are out there. So this is a very real concept. And my issue with this is when you have such a limited number, when there are so few, what happens? People aren't riding those bikes, they're storing them. Like, some people are storing them up and using them as hopefully like a retirement plan. Some people use them so they can, go big dick swinging when their friends come over and they're like, oh, look at this bike I have, it's so limited and so rare. And then companies get a hold of them and just throw them on their sales floor, or something like that. They'll take them to shows to have to draw people to their booth or whatnot. Essentially, these bikes do not get ridden, they don't get used, they don't get anything. They are showpieces, and that's it. And for me, I look at that and it kind of bothers me, mainly because I feel like cars, bikes, stuff like that, they are there to be driven, ridden, all that fun stuff. Bikes should be ridden, not just sat there and stared at and occasionally come out for a convention or a rally or something like that. They should be on the road and all that fun stuff. And let's be honest, you are never going to go to a bike rally and see somebody pull up on a Jack Daniels Indian. You're never going to see that. You'll be lucky if you see someone pull up on an Elite. I feel like it's almost safe to say you're not going to see that either. And it sucks, because those are bikes that, the company has come forth. They said they put their best of the best, the creme de la creme, all that fun stuff into that bike. And it's just going to be a showpiece. And I find that kind of tragic. I really do. And I was kind of wondering what you guys thought about that. I mean, I understand certain bikes, certain cars, stuff like that. I could see them going to museums, being put on display, stuff like that. Honestly, if I got a hold of the El Diablo number 666, you're damn right, I'm gonna pop that thing into a museum or something and use it as a showpiece, because that's just kind of cool, for what the bike is and what the number is. And when bikes the very first one rolls off, or the first few roll off the production line, same with cars, okay, I can get stuff like that, I can get on board with stuff like that. But as well as I do, 250 bikes or 100 bikes, they're not all gonna go out there and be not even half of those are gonna make it to the road. They're gonna end up in someone's private collection. They might go around the block once or twice. They might go to Starbucks on Sunday or something like that. And it's just, I don't know. To me, it's kind of sad, kind of bothers me. I would rather see that bike out there on the road getting ridden and doing all the cool stuff it was designed and built to do. So what do you guys think? I'm really curious about this, because I feel like this is one of those things where there's going to be people oh, don't worry about it, it's not your bike, doesn't matter, not your pig, not your farm. I don't know, but yeah, I am curious. I want the discussion on this one. So down below, what do you think? How do you feel about this? Because I'm curious if I'm on an island by myself, or if I gotta buy a little bit more beer because there's a bunch of friends with me and we're all hanging out bitching about this. Let me know. Sound off. Honestly, that's what I got for the day, guys, so I'll keep it short. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this video with friends, share it with family, share it with that one dork who's got a couple bikes that he's keeping in his private collection and they have less than 10 miles on it. He loves this stuff, trust me. And I'll see you all on the flip side.